Is everyone hearing me out there in Radio Land? Signify in the chat room by saying yes, that you hear me. Because I think, sister out there, you have to refresh your computer. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I had to do this because this is not seem like to be a heavy theme. And I'm going to start making this more and more heavy theme about the coming together of community and the collectiveness of our people. This is not going to happen amongst the black race, amongst our people, our so-called people in the darkness. It's not going to happen. You understand? The coming together of our people is not going to happen because they have this illusion, right, that they are a part of the greater populace, that they belong to society, that we all one people. They're the only ones, our people are the only ones that are fooled by this. No one else is fooled by this, right? This is what keeps our people from forming societies, nations, groups, collectives. This is what keeps us from doing it. And the ones that we do form serve no real purpose. They have no real power. They have no real direction. Everything is misdirected, right? There's no real purpose for these organizations that exist today. They're like headless horsemen, just riding about, flailing their arms, no direction. Definitely not into the future where our people should be, right? Our people are going into the wrong things or heading toward the wrong direction. But then again, on the other side, the ones who are on a sub-mental state, who are on a low mental frequency, they headed right where they belong. So the people who claim to be on a higher mental frequency should be headed someplace. See, because you can't say that you are in tune with God, right? You can't say you are in tune with God. You can't say in God you trust, and you're not moving collectively. I said that in the state of mental, we say in God we trust. We say we trust in God. We don't believe in God. We trust in God because we acknowledge God, Amen, as the true and living God. To believe in something means that you accept the lies or the philosophies or the theories of people. So we trust in God. See, this is something that has to be taught to our people in a collective group. It can't be taught in fragmented states by individuals who might like what I'm saying. They might like what I'm teaching, but you want to take bits and pieces of what I'm saying and take it someplace else and act as though it's coming from you, right? Or you just want to share it with people. It doesn't work that way. All and everything that comes out of my mouth is meant to ignite and unite people, right? People within the bright race, the intelligent ones. It is not meant to be taken as fragmented words and truths and things like that for people who want to sound intelligent and smart. It's meant to unite people, bring people together, bring people into one state, as the state of mental, as those people who are coming in tune with true and living God. Amen. Right? That's the purpose of this. Community. Because without community, we have nothing. We have a bunch of individuality out here, right? Which is why the black race is just up for grabs. Anybody can do anything they want to the so-called black race because the black race has no unity amongst themselves. They have nothing to unite under. Being black is not good enough. It's just a broad terminology for a bunch of people who have a bunch of vast and different beliefs and ways of thinking. So you have to get some of these people who think on the same level, who are raising their level of intelligence into an exclusive group. Right, because God deals with exclusivity. He doesn't deal with inclusiveness. That's a lie that they teach you in religion. Well, in religion, as like when I explain the church and state separation, yeah, in the church, it's all inclusive, meaning that anybody can come. Everybody's included, right? And this is what you black people teach in religion. You teach that God loves everybody and everybody can come to God, right, as you are. No real guidance, no real obedience, no real, how do I want to say, no real, what's the word I want to say? No real structure, no real capability, something, that distance you, separates you from the average person. Just come as you are. Inclusive, no real standards. That's what I meant to say. I was saying all the wrong words. Excuse my words earlier. No real standards, right? Anybody can join. You remember that old joke, I wouldn't want to be a part of any club that would have me as a member? That's how I feel about religion, right? We join clubs, groups, or we just stay out here in the world of religion, the church, right? And we want to be included in everything. We don't look to be exclusive, right? We don't look to exclude ourselves from everybody else. See, because when you exclude yourself from everybody else and you are coming amongst people who think as you do, who do as you do, who move as you do, then what happens is power starts to generate. Real power. I'm not talking about no spiritual, unseen power. I'm talking about real power, right? Mental power, financial power, and physical power in time. That starts to generate. You start making a supreme people. You start making a advanced people, an evolutionary people. See, but that only happens when you exclude people from your gatherings. If you ever notice, whenever black people had organizations and movements, when they excluded people, everybody looked at them as they were doing something wrong. With the Nation of Islam, they didn't let anybody in who wasn't black. They looked at that as saying, oh, y'all racist because you exclude everybody. But nobody said I don't want to use this as as an equal term. Nobody said, oh, well, why, don't the Ku Klux Klan or anybody excludes. I'm not putting people on the same level, but the Ku Klux Klan or just, Italians or Jews, any group of people that want to be amongst each other that are exclusive. See, I have no problem with that. Even in your so-called upper echelon, white bread country clubs and Ivy League schools, where they only really want white faces there. That's exclusive. Everybody accepts that from them, right? Everybody accepts exclusivity from these people, right? Nobody says a thing about it. The black man, the black woman, nobody has a problem with it. The minute black people say this, they say we want to be exclusive. We want exclusivity in all organizations and movements, and we don't want anybody who's not looking like us and thinking like us to be a part of it. Oh, why is that? Oh, y'all some black racists and this, that, and the third. And you don't even have to talk about anybody else's race negatively. They'll say that anyway. Why? Could it be that people see the power in the gathering of our people? Right? It took 20 years, 20 to 25 years before people in the United States even understood the Nation of Islam and what they were about. Now, this was just a movement of structured people who were trying to live for, of, and by each other and to do better by themselves, right? But they made it seem as though these people, was some kind of uproar. They couldn't just believe that black people, so-called black people, wanted to be in exclusive groups to themselves, right? Black people don't even accept that. When you tell black people, the group is exclusive, oh, why can't you include everybody? Black people even do that. So-called black people, those who I call your black Caucasians, they do that. They want everybody, they want to be in something that's all-inclusive. They want to belong. And I said that the reason why a society, a movement, anything is able to be powerful as it is because of exclusivity. Exclusivity. You don't include everybody, right? You try to include the best people. America was an experiment, right? America was an experiment because in the beginning, they didn't include everyone, even though they say one nation under God with liberty and justice for all. But it meant for all white people, for all white citizens. So that was exclusive. blacks and anybody else was excluded from that. Now today, they say that everybody who's American is inclusive, all inclusive under the guise of American citizenship, right? And that sounds nice, but we know different as black people here, and the so-called black people here in the society. We do know different, right? We know very different from our experiences. People say one thing and then they do something else. But this is fine. See? It's fine. I don't have a problem with people excluding me from things they don't want me, because I don't want to be a part of what you're doing anyway. You would not have found the intellectual ᴘᴏᴡᴇRs in the 60s begging white lunch counters and things to serve him. You wouldn't have found me and my people going into any of these places forcing people to take our money. You understand? That had to be a hell of a brainwashing. That had to be a hell of a, I don't know what to call that mentality. A low-natured mentality to force yourself on people. People who don't want you. You understand? People who treat you like garbage. People who enjoy treating you like garbage as a privilege. People who keep you at the bottom and you want to stay at the bottom. You want to be in the you want to be at the soul or at the foot of these people. You love it. They used to call them bootlicks, right? Black people kept this system going. It wasn't just white people. It wasn't white supremacy. It was black people that kept white supremacy going in the South and things like that. They stayed in their place, right? They stayed in their place. They stayed in their place being nannies and nursemaids and butlers and things like that for these people who maybe one or two generations are from being removed from owning your grandparents and your great-grandparents, owning them as property, right? Yet you want to be all-inclusive with these people. You want to be included. You don't see the power in exclusion, exclusivity, right? Even if you're coming amongst yourselves to make yourselves a better people, because excluding yourself from people doesn't say that you're putting other people down. It just says that you want to become better amongst yourselves. People by nature, they gather amongst each other. People who look like them, people who have things in common with them. By nature, we do that. Yet they try to make it seem like it's something wrong when our people do it. When our people want to come together and form a collective, a community, a society, a state in the name of God. Right? We're going to go deeper and deeper into this topic because it deserves heavy attention, especially in this day and time if we're looking to move forward as a collective of people. I am the intellectual ᴘᴏᴡᴇR, and this is State of Intel Radio. And tonight, the real power of a new people in transmission with God. Right? The real power. That power can only come as a collective. It will not come as individuals. So I tell you people out there all the time who listen to me, who like my words, like what I'm saying, I say come to the State of Intel, because whenever I tell people that, oh, brother, I like what you said, and then I say come to the State of Intel, come home. Come out of the world. Come into the state. Come out of the world. Come into the state. Come out of the church. Come into the state. All right? In the name of Amen, the true and living God. Come out of the state. Come out of the church. Come out of the world. Our people are, all right, brother, yeah, all right. That you people, I don't take you seriously, because you still want to be in the church. You still want to be in the world. I don't take you seriously. You understand? I don't take you seriously, because here is guidance coming from on high into this state, or into this existence, coming through this atmosphere to our people in this day and time to raise them. And instead of you attaching yourself, attracting yourself to this light, to this force, to this true and living power of the true and living God, Amen, instead of you doing that, you want to be in the world. You want to take this and sound heavy and deep. You people want to be lukewarm. You should be hot for this. You should be hot for this. You should be, what can we do? You want to say you love me so much, the intellectual. Yeah. You don't love me, love the state. because that's where the power comes. I'm just an instrument of the state. I'm doing my job as an instrument. You're supposed to not be living for the world. You're supposed to be living for this world, for this state, for our world. Not for the church, not for the churches in the world church. You stay out there in the world because in the world they give you this illusion that they allow you freedom. To be what? To move on that submental state, to receive no power. What do you get in exchange for freedom? What do you have to give in exchange for so-called freedom in the society? You have to give over your mind. You have to lose your mind. Everybody want to have a good time. Yeah, lose your mind. You have to give over your mind. You have to give over your soul in order to have this illusion of freedom. Right? I said to myself, I can't even stand to be around the regular people anymore. I can't look at TV too much like I used to that much anymore. Like when I look at TV, when I do look at TV, because 9 times out of 10 I'm on the computer, I'm writing. When I do look at the TV, right, these Negroes, I just see people in general, they just come off as phony. People are just in the general populace who you come across every day. This regular simple-minded Negroes and the people out here, just the regular people, they just come across as simple-minded. They're not talking about nothing. They're not doing anything. Yet you want to move amongst these people in their world, in their space. You want to share conversations with them that are not necessary. You want to take them into your company. These are the people that you want to be amongst. You don't want to separate yourself and come into the state, come out of the world and come into the state as a new collective of people in transmission. You want to still be in submission to man, because I said it's only one or two things you're going to be. You're either going to be in transmission with God or in submission to man. You ain't going to sit up here and say, oh, I'm God, brother, I'm God. You ain't God. You in submission to God. The gods that rule this world, this lower state, you in submission to them. I'm trying to get our people in transmission with the true and living God, to where we answer into a higher authority. That's what I'm trying to do. Well, we're not concerned with these things that are going on out here, but you as black men and black women, so-called black men and black women who claim you graduated from that mindset, still act like black men and black women. Y'all still react to this whole racial thing. You still don't want to come and support or be a part of this. Give yourself to the state. Take yourself out of the world and give yourself to the state. Take yourself from up under the beast and give yourself to God. Give yourself to Amen, to be an instrument for his intelligence. That's real. That's what happens when you stop believing in God and start trusting in God. You understand? That's what happens when you stop believing in God and start trusting in God. A lot of y'all still believe in God. You don't trust in God. You don't trust that this message is coming from God. Some people think it's coming from me. And it's not coming from me. It's coming through me. The message is coming through me. God uses people who are in tune as a lightning rod for his intelligence to share with the collective, those who are exclusive. You look in that book of Revelation, it tells you about 144,000. 144,000 out of billions of people on the planet. If that's not exclusivity, I don't know what is. People want to ignore that. They want to say God is for the whole world. No, he's not. God don't care about the whole world. Right? God only wants to give his power to a chosen few who are together collectively. See, the powers that be, they know this. They know this. That's why if they are in this day and time acting as the chosen few, the blue bloods, the ones, the elite. They are in tune with God right now. They are in tune. They are in reception with God. That's the power of a people. I said to myself, all the energy and power our people give in the churches to Jesus, and the mosque to Allah, and the temples or wherever they go, their house of worship under Yahweh Shai, whatever they believe in. Now, all the money that they put together in the name of these false gods, what would happen if they put all this energy behind the true and living God, Amen? What would happen? what would happen? What would they do? What would take place there? You understand? What would, come about? A stronger people, a people who are in tune, a people who are on a higher frequency. That's what would come about. See, but our people don't want that. Our people don't want that. Our people want the falseness. They want to be in the world. They want to be in the church. As I explained to those of you who are tuning in, who didn't listen to the last broadcast, I said the church is the world. The world you walk in every day is the church. Right? You want to be a part of the world. Because, like I said, they promise you a freedom that you don't have to have in a collective group of people. You don't have to have that. They promise you more of a longer leash, but you're still on a leash that goes nowhere, right? You can live out your creature comforts and have your little perversions and your trivial life, and that's what you would sacrifice your connection with God for, right? When God could give our people so much more, he would give us in exchange for his reception and being those instruments all the power in the world. He just gave it to the beast. He gave it to mankind. He gave all the power to them because we abandoned it. Like the brother said last time, we abandoned our post. We abandoned our post. We abandoned our post from Egypt to Sumeria, right? Timbuktu to the Olmecs who were supposed to come over here and set up the real government. We abandoned our post because we started wanting to be inclusive. We wanted to be with everybody. We mixed our seed with everybody. We broke the law. We wanted to be all inclusive instead of exclusive. And so-called black race, they still feel this way. This is drummed into their head. This has been drilled into their head, right? This has been drilled into their head that they want to be all inclusive. They don't want to exist as a exclusive group of people. Nature has you or dictates that you are an exclusive people. God dictated from out of the manifestation of himself, out of his bloodline, out of his genetics, that you are an exclusive people. Your hair, your skin tells you that you are an exclusive people. That you are to be exclusive and excluded from everybody else. The reason why our people suffer under racism, the reason why our people have suffered under racism, I'm going to say this again, is because we fell under the submission of man, under the authority of man. When people exclude you from something, it's usually because you're not supposed to be under these people. If I include you in something, then that means you're supposed to be under that submission. It's like you come into the jungle and you see lions all gathering, and you walk amongst them and you're not a lion, they're going to be ready to tear you up because you're not a lion. You're supposed to be somewhere else, in tune with something else. So when mankind was excluding you by racism from being amongst him, he was basically telling you that you're supposed to answer to another authority, not his. You are supposed to be answering to another authority, not his. You're supposed to be someplace else in the world, answering to another authority. But because you wanted to be all-inclusive, you ended up falling under him. This is real. So early in the broadcast, I'm going to go ahead and take a call. 423, you're on the air.
All right. When you said the 144,000, can you break that down to the 9 term? Because you're saying a whole lot of stuff that makes a whole lot of sense and is really what's happening. But can you go into a little bit more detail when you break the 144,000 down and how it ends up to be the number 9 and why it's the number 9 and going to that? Because a lot of people don't understand that when you see 144, you're basically talking about 9.
Well, you just said it. 1 1, 4, 4 equals 9. 4 and 4 is 8. 1 equals 9. That's supposed to be the people who have arrived at the highest state before they go into 10 and they start a repetition into a new numerical system or system of rotative numbers, right? They're supposed to be the highest level that they reach before they move into another realm, right? So they move into a higher level of thinking. After that, it's 10. The 1 and the 0 repeats itself. And also, if you notice, the 1 and the 0 separate. I told our people before, the 10 represents the separation of the almond beings and the human beings, because the human beings move in a circle in a revolution, and the almond beings, aka your so-called black race, is supposed to be moving on a line in a linear state. We're not supposed to be moving in the same time zones, in the same time frames as the human race. That's why they exclude you. That's why they treat you like crap and whatnot and act like racist towards you, because you're not supposed to be moving in their time frame. They don't treat the East Indians like that. They don't treat the Asians like that. They only do that to you. Why? Because you're not their people. You're not part of the human race. Black people are not part of the human race. You are the almond race. You are a totally different species of people, and you're not supposed to be you're not supposed to be inclusive with these people. You're supposed to be exclusively to yourselves, in tune with a higher form of intelligence. You're supposed to be in tune directly with God. Amen.
And one reason why I say this is because, like, I watch very little TV, and when I do watch it, it got something to do with like the major events. And when I watch TV, I see something totally different. And what other than, I could be sitting with 2 or 3 people watching TV, 1 or 2 people, and I don't see exactly what they see. I see something totally different. I'm like, okay, is my mind playing tricks on me, or is this what I really see? But then it began to repeat itself. I'm like, okay. And it is always almost like focusing on the stuff that you're talking about, coming out of that circle, going into that line. And I see it in nature, too. I see it in the nature. So I just wanted you to break that down a little bit more, because a lot of people use that 1, 4, and 4, but they don't really, break down that 1 plus 4 plus 4 equals 9. That's what I wanted you to do, and you answered it.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad I was able to be of help to the brother, but I always say this: doesn't really matter if our people are not coming together. My words mean nothing if we're not pulling the people together collectively to form this new covenant, to form this new state, to form this new collective of people. It doesn't mean anything. If we're not living for, of, and by each other in a new mindset as a new people, then it means nothing. My words mean nothing. They're just words. They're just nice, powerful things that are supposed to be moving people. It's supposed to be moving people in the name of God. I say that I do everything in the name of God, the true and living God. Amen. I do things in the name of the true and living God, whose name, his true title is Amen. And we as the Amen race are supposed to be in tune with the true and living God. The longer we stay out of tune with God, that is the length of time we will continue to suffer under mankind. We will continue to suffer. We are out of our place. And as long as we remain out of our place, we will continue to suffer. That's why we go through what we go through. That's why we have to go through this punishment, because we don't want to get back in our place. We have abandoned our post. And until we get back into our post, until we step back into our seats, we're going to constantly keep going through this. Our people are hard-headed. You love the world. You are of the world. You love the church. You love the monotony of the church, because you love the whole thing, because the church comes off as something exciting to you in the world. All people are like what I'm saying, but the beast still has you mentally. He still has you. Because if he didn't have you mentally, you'd be here. I tell the people that I'm here in another state. My mindset's in another state. My physical body's in another state. I might be walking amongst people, but I'm not there. They know I'm not there with them mentally or physically. They know they can look in my face and tell me and tell. That's why they stay away from me. You understand? They stay away from me because I'm not in the same state mentally with them or physically. I carry myself and move on a totally different vibration, and people will start to notice that about you. If you're still hanging out with your homeboys and stuff like that, then like I said, you're not in the state. You're still in the church. You're still in the church. This is the church. The world is the church. And in the church, as I said, you can be an African, Pan-African. You be a Rasta, a Moor, a Muslim, a Christian, an Israelite. You can be all those things under the church. And that's what you are, a 5%er. You could be all those things under the church. You understand? You can be all of these things in the church. They fit into the church. The church is big. But the people, the state is small. The state is small because the state is exclusive. It's like that white country club you can't get in, right? It's that white country club where these guys feel comfortable to talk amongst each other and say what they want to say and make all the racist jokes they want to make because that's their right. I don't have anything against that. I support that. I support exclusivity. I support people who want to live for, of, and by themselves, whether it's the Jews, the Italians, whether it's the Ivy League white schools. If they want all white people in there, they should have every right to if they're paying for it. Just as I say, our people should be doing the same thing. You understand? You should be exclusive as well. Right? You should. Because it builds pride in the people. It builds character and pride in the people. When a boy or a girl growing up can look at their fathers and their mothers amongst a community of people, right? Knowing, they're saying, I come from a strong group of people, a strong collective of people, right? People who are together for, of, and by each other. They can say that. The black kids today, they can't say that. The black man, the black boy, he don't know where his father at. 9 times out of 10, he didn't grow up with his father. Or the black girl, she didn't grow up with her father, so she ended up with any nigga in the street. That's real. That's real. Why? Because there's no community there. It's just a loose band of niggas. Just all over the place. Just taking up space, just looking at each other. Just in foul moods and foul ways of thinking. This is what you want to be around? This is what you want to abandon the connection to God for? So you can be around this? This is what keeps you from the state that we working to build? I said it's going to be a whole new ball game 2013 with the state of mental. I tell you that much. The people who are becoming members and the people who are going to listen to this message. Like I said, it's going to be a whole new ball game. Whole new mentality. Whole separation of that church mentality and the whole building of a state mentality in the name of God. When we say in God we trust, we're going to mean it because we're going to live it. We're not going to just say it and pay lip service and talk about, yeah, brother, yeah, this, that, and the third. I don't want to hear no brothers. You're not my brother. You're not my sister. My brothers and sisters are coming home. They're not out in the world. See, because we have to make an example. Because by you saying that you acknowledge the truth that's coming from my mouth, that it is coming through me from God in person, Amen, the true and living God. No more hidden gods, no more unseen forces, no more spiritual spookism, that this intelligence is coming through me. If you acknowledge that, then you will be here to help to facilitate that. You will be here to become instruments of this truth. Because this is the truth. There is no other truth. You understand? You guys are still sitting up here, still trying to get your minds blown. You ain't going to like this once we put the state together and we have our people here and we send our people out and they out in the streets like the Jehovah's Witnesses and all these other people out here to find our people, the bright ones. We're going to exclude ourselves from you. I said I'm creating an anti-conscious movement. I'm creating an anti-conscious movement, meaning we are not creating a movement for smart dummies to come in, people who want to get their minds blown. We are creating a movement for the intelligent ones, the people who are exclusively in tune with God as a collective. That's what we're doing. Mentellect is the reception of God, Amen, not the religion of man. Right? We're going to be in reception with God, Amen. Hands up in reception mode, collectively. We're going to build our own mentoriums. Amen Mentorium number 1. This is the things that we got on deck 2013 that I'm going to start initiating as our people are going out heavily to find our people, because this message has to get to our people again. We are trusting in God, Amen, the true and living God. We're not believing in the false gods anymore. So therefore, we're not walking amongst the church people. Those people who claim that they are receiving the intelligence of God, they are going to start altering themselves. Right? They will change. You can call back 510. I was about to take your call. You can call back. Right? They are going to alter themselves. They will change. There will be no more people doing the old things. 510, you're on the air.
Hey, how's it going, man? How's it going,
doing?
David?
All right.
I'm great. Yeah, hey, great show, great topic. Hey, man, I was just thinking, like, how people, you call it the tri-state area, how they could be so close to you and be on your radio show, on your Facebook postings and what have you, and won't come out to see you. And, Negroes are really, we have that fear still. You feel me? Mm-hmm. They got that fear. They still afraid of Jesus. They're afraid of Muhammad. They're afraid of Allah. They're afraid of Yahweh.
They're afraid of the white man. They're afraid of the white man, or let's just say it like that. Even though that's all the white man's God, they're afraid of the white man. They think this is we against the white man, and we, this, that, and the third. Or they're just afraid of what their friends gonna think, or what's this? Some nigga gonna say, what y'all following a cult? Who is this guy? What y'all following a cult now? That's what they're afraid of. Or I hope, I think he right, but I don't know if I'm playing myself. If he trying to rip us off or rob us or use us for something, I don't know. Yeah, I still want to be out here in the world. I'm gonna get the message. If it come to me, if it move me to get there, then I'll get there. I don't. Them type of people, I don't even pay no attention to. Those are cowards. And I'm creating an anti-coward zone, because the people that are with me, they're gonna have to put up a shut up. The few people that are with me, like I said, I'd rather have a few people with me who are strong, because those strong people will attract more strong people, especially the way I'm putting out these new books. The new books that are coming out are going to be geared at getting our people. See, because I was explaining to a sister before that, the problem with how I was teaching before, and I'm not saying it wasn't even a big problem, but I just, certain things you have to go through before you understand that my teaching of what was coming through me, I was teaching it as, too fast, and I was taking things away, like in religion, and I wasn't replacing them with real things. And that left the door open for all the conscious people to come in, because they love to come in to a vacuum where they have this false ego, where they think that, they just here to suck up your energy and suck up anything that's coming through, so they could take it and sound smart and heavy. I didn't want to create a zone for those kind of people. I wanted to create a zone for a class of people who are working, who are thinking, and who want to do better for themselves. That's what I wanted to build the state of Mentel on, not on these conscious Negroes who are looking to get their minds blown, who just want to sit around and watch videos all day and read books and talk about the Illuminati and the white man, all that madness. I'm not building a community based on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm building a community based on God-thinking people.
Yeah. So. I could see. I listened to some of your older broadcasts, and then I listened to the ones to date, and I can see it. I can see that there was evolution, even in your broadcasts.
Yeah.
I just see it. You know, and I think it's a good thing because, you know, change is supreme, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, even though there are some that may, you know how people try to guru you, you know, and they love what you're saying and all that, and they put you on a pedestal. You know, Newton, you're evolving just the same as we are. You feel me?
Yeah. Hey,
know?
let me tell you something. Amen is evolving. Amen is constantly. God is changing. God is evolving. So all these people who sitting up here thinking I'm talking about the Amen from ancient Egypt and all this other nonsense, or I'm talking about it's the same God as Allah, it's the same God as Jesus, it's the same Amen Ra. No, it's not the same person. God moved on. Just like that woman leave you and break your heart, and that man leave you and break your heart, and they move on, so does God. That's why I say our people sitting up here praying to nothing. Your prayers are in vain because nobody's listening to you.
Yeah. Amen is totally different from all these dead gods. It's just different. I mean, you know, it's different principles. You know what I mean? It's just
Amen.
Totally
the difference is Amen lives. Amen is real. The rest of these gods is dead, man. Because you know, Amen lives because we live. We are the extension of Amen. So we are living and breathing and whatnot, and we receiving this intelligence. It has to be coming from somewhere. Where's your intelligence coming from? Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Where's your intelligence coming from? Allah. That Muslims can't even tell me what Allah is.
We are the living extensions of the living God.
That's right. That's all I've been teaching our people. Like I said, they want to sit up here and they want to worship some dead, unseen God that some white man, or some Arabs, or some Chinese invented. They want to do that. They rather do that rather than stand up and take their post back. Like I said, the black man, the black woman want to keep abandoning their posts, and that's why God is not dealing with them. You can shout in the church all you want to, pray, bang your head on the floor in the mosque, and ain't no God dealing with you.
Hey, no, let me share this right quick. I'm gonna let you go.
Uh-huh.
So, I've been really focusing on getting out to Brooklyn, man. Right. So I started selling cakes and cookies because I'm a baker.
Okay.
I started selling cakes and cookies not only to my friends and my coworkers, but on the street corner. You know, I started making $100 a day, man.
Okay.
Now I need $100 more, and I have my round trip flight fare and my hotel accommodations, man. So I'm telling you, man, my focus has been trying to get out there, and I'm on my way. I'm already there, man. I'm already there.
January 27th.
January 27th. That's right.
January 27th. Because, like I said, that's where we're gonna put it on new and hardcore for our people. Like I said, it ain't gonna be like the old state of mental stuff we doing. Everything's an evolution. Every time, you know, this intelligence is boosting us to a new level. We supposed to be going with that level of intelligence collectively. We got to go together, or ain't none of us going at all.
Yeah, that's where the power is.
That's where the power is.
Corrected.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, Noob, I'm gonna let you go, man. Continue listening, man. You have a great evening.
You too.
Peace to all the people that's listening. And if you're in the Tri-State area, and if you're real about it, go talk to my man. All right, peace.
Hey, keep that cake and bakery thing going. You got something there.
Oh, man. It's on, man. It's on.
All right.
All right, Noob. Peace.
Next host is Little Debbie Company. Better.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you
later.
All right,
brother. All right, peace.
757, you're on the air.
Peace, bro. I just had a couple of things I want to add on with you. The first two things was I had peeped a couple of movies that was very significant. One was the one with Leonardo da Vinci, and he was dealing with I want to stay focused on the topic. You know what I'm saying? When you're speaking on inclusive, the movie that he made on the FBI. You know what I'm saying? I just want to share that with the audience. People, you know, peep that out. You know what I'm saying? I think it's J. Edgar Hoover. All right. And the second one was The Good Shepherd. All right. These two movies, you know what I'm saying, I feel it's imperative for our people to take a peep at. And The Good Shepherd, in the middle or towards the end of the movie, the dude actually said who they excluded. He said who they excluded from the CIA. Right? And you know who they mentioned. You know what I'm saying? They mentioned us. You know what I'm saying? So it's people need to take a peep at, you know what I'm saying, the fact when you said exclusive, and you said that they exclude it and we take it, and then when we try to exclude, then we got a problem with it. So it was 2 movies that put out on that. You know what I'm saying? The last part is something sentimental. I did an interview with my grandmother recently, right? And it's still focused on the same subject. They was in North Carolina, and when she was explaining to me that all of them grew up on farms and they all of them was farmers and all of them had their own land and everything, then she told me my grandfather moved up here in VA, right? And then my pops said, yo, he said, do you know what your grandmother did as a living? I was like, nah. He was like, she worked as a damn maid for these freak. I ain't even gonna curse. I ain't even gonna say who. You already understand where I'm going at. And I'm sitting there trying to analyze, like, we left where we was excluded from, and the whole time I was interviewing her, everything was beautiful. How she was running it down. It was really sentimental to me because it was what, I wanted to share that with my daughter. Then when he told me they moved up here and then she became a servant, I was like, are you serious? You got to be kidding me. This is what we do. And the last thing I want to add on, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to let you get back to the show, was our people think, this is an epiphany that came to me while you was adding on and building. Our people think that these Albions, these white people, is actually here to serve them. And what came to me is that they're like hunters, and they'll take a rabbit or a kill or a bait and put it in the ocean or put it out there for you to come eat, and then they'll pop you. You know what I'm saying? And one thing is that what's going on, and when I was, adding on last, the other show, like moving from our pose, is the fact that our people actually got it backwards. And that's why we out of bounds. We out of pocket because we actually think the enemy is here to serve us. So you got these black men that actually think, oh, football and basketball, they give you a ball or football, they here to serve you. You know what I'm saying? Then the women think because they build an apartment complex and a nice condo and whatever, that they here to serve you. But at the end of the day, they here to displace. They're here to displace you, and they're also here to keep you lazy because. And the fact of the matter that you live in somebody else's complex that they built, you would never go out and build. You know what I'm saying? When you adding on people building, as long as they bait you in, you know what I'm saying, you would never become exclusive. And so it's a psychological thing, and I'm gonna fall back on that part. You know what I'm saying? You can get me out.
Well, the whole thing is, black people want to be, like I said, it's not. It works hand in hand. If you really want to be exclusive and you don't want to be with these people, then you stop going amongst these people. You stop making yourself all inclusive with these people. You understand? Because when you do that, it's like you're desiring, like I said, like you mentioned your grandmother, you saying she came up here and became a maid. Like they could have did anything. They could have came up here, like if they had land down south. I mean, you could have took some income from that land, whatever it did, and came up here and opened your own business. You could have done anything. But our people got this thing where, like I said, they feel like, I hear a lot of the older West Indians, they do this too. They feel as though they are connected and they are servants to these people. And they feel like that. A lot of older black people felt like that too.
Yeah, man.
They feel like they connected to these people as servants. I watched that movie The Help a couple of days ago. It was on cable, and it was just really how those black women were acting that out there and whatnot, and like they just was just so in love with these people, and they were showing more love and affection, genuine affection for other people than themselves, than each other. And that was so sad for me to see. That's a sickness.
We can't service each other as, brothers or sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's something as if you feel like you're strong enough that you got to go serve something that is weak, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, we don't suppose to miss our seed. And it's like they know this because if they was reading, the majority of them read the Bible, and you already know they say, don't miss your seed when it came out. He kept telling them over and over again, don't miss your seed. But then we feel like, we can go in and we can service them, but then we won't service each other. Right now, we won't service each other. You know, and that's, like you said, that's sad. It's sad that we, you know what I'm saying, I can point to anybody in my family and be like, yo, y'all can service everybody else. I got a cousin that's a computer programmer. He makes $50 to $100 an hour. I'm like, dude, you don't own your own computer programming business. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Because you're still serving this beast. I mean, what you said, I'm not amongst any of them. You know what I'm saying? I move, you know what I'm saying? I move as a loner, you know what I'm saying? And that's part of my zodiac. But the whole thing is that I recognize and see it. You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing is that, you know, people out there that's listening and you're already on it. And that's why, you know, like you said, I gravitated to the signal. Been listening since August. It's the fact that, look, more people got to realize that, you know, when you say come amongst yourself, service another brother. What is so hard with people helping? You ain't got to be attached and latch on to somebody, but you got to get into the rhythm of actually. Yeah.
Well, the thing is this: if black people, so-called black people, don't see where black people who are intelligent are gathering, they're not going to come amongst it. You have to build it in order for them to come. In other words, that's why the state of Mentel has to exist, because if our people don't see us gathering, and you know, in the name and to the power of our God, the true and living God, Amen. They don't see us coming collectively together in a new mindset, a new society, new names, our thing, our own flag, our own, you know, just our own state. They don't see that, then they're not going to come to that. You know, so who do they look to as their you know, equals in doing things like that? See, at least with the Jewish community, you know, the Jews, they'll come and they have each other to lean on, and they look out for each other. Like I said, you know, they have that commonality together of, you know, we Jewish, you know, we've been through this, our people from the same thing, we worship the same thing. So that's a connection they have. You can't say, oh, I'm a black man and we connected, but I'm a Muslim over here, you an Israelite over here, you a Christian. That's where it's going to stop. These people, right. They white, they Jews, they are together. They consider themselves the same. The black man, they don't consider themselves the same. So they feel like they all inclusive. Like I guarantee you, a black Muslim, a so-called Muslim who's black, he'll feel like he got more in common with an Arab Muslim than another black man. Why? Because they follow the same belief system, or they think the same way when it comes to this God Allah and these practices and principles of Islam. So until our people are linked together mentally, right, as well as physically and coming together collectively, then none of that's going to work. All that coming together because we black, that's not going to work. I could be a Muslim, you know, but I could be a Christian over here, and I could be an Israelite, I could be a Rastafarian and wear my hair. No, that's not going to work.
You're right. It's not going to work, and plus they got to
been working.
The builder. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them entities, they having services, but they're not building. They're not, you know, actually providing anything for the people. So, you know what I'm saying, on the strength that all that they're doing is feeding they lower frequency emotions, then they keep going back to it because it doesn't require any responsibility of, you know what I'm saying, of our people to do anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, long as people don't have to do nothing, I think you might have built on that before. Long as you ain't got to do nothing, you know what I'm saying, you there. And you were saying that anytime everybody will come, 1,000 people, 1 million people will come, it's because you ain't got to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And you up there in New York, so it's so many of those groups out there that's walking around, you know what I'm saying, and they're not actually accomplishing anything, you know, in their church or mosque. You know, they're there, but they're not adding on. When you, like you said, when you're looking at this Albion, he's going out in space. He ain't thinking about this crap no more. He ain't even on this no more. And so and like you said, you have a vision. And, you know, you keep doing what you're doing, you're having a vision and giving people a vision, and hopefully it'll steer them away from that crap, you know what I'm saying, that we've been seeing.
Well, the perfect example, and then I got to take another call. But let me say the
Okay,
perfect
no doubt.
example of that is the Million Man March. Like I said,
Right.
all them people gathered all over, came from all over the country, and some people came from different parts of it. Black men came from all over the globe, and to come to that thing just to stand around and look at each other. Nothing got accomplished.
I was in college, and I stayed at the dorm. I said, I'm not going to that because I know he gonna dupe them. You know what I'm saying? I feel you on that. And my pops said, yeah, come on, go. I'm like, nope. I already know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I feel you on that. But yeah, I appreciate you taking the time, brother.
All right, no problem.
All right, no doubt.
All right. We'll take the next call. 408. 408, you're on the air. 408.
Yeah, just real quick. For people who are still involved in a ritualistic lifestyle, as far as just like I don't know if I heard the brother right that just got off the phone, but he said something about it's part of his zodiac, or people that are still involved in Kemetic science or the teachings from Kush, Ethiopia, any religious or anything that has a ritualistic undertone. Could you speak on if that is a part of the movement, the movement of Mentellect? Speak on that. Let them know. Let these people know that if they're a part of this, they have to let all of that go, because basically if you're still in a ritualistic lifestyle, you might as well go to church. You might as well go to the mosque. So, Nuben, speak on that, man, because it's quite a few brothers that are still involved, even tarot cards, things of that nature. I look at their pages, even though they comment on your post, and they seem like they agree with what you're saying. They're still involved in a ritualistic lifestyle if they're involved in those ideologies. So hey, just speak a little bit on that, and just to solidify and let these brothers know that all of that has nothing to do with what's going on in this movement.
Okay.
And I'll listen. I'll let you go, man.
All right.
Peace.
Well, I'll answer that. 205, stay on the air. I'm going to take your call, 205. No, yes, come back, 205. I'll take your call. No, that doesn't. That has nothing to do with what we're doing. We're not dealing with people who are moving in rituals and circles and things like that. People of the world, we don't want you. We don't want the people of the world, the people who are still caught up in the world and doing the same thing, because y'all still in the church. Whether you're doing Kemetic science, whether you're doing Egyptology, you're still in the Pan-Africanism, Islam, Christianity, Israelitism, or whatever, Buddhism, whatever you into, 5%ism, we're not dealing with you. God is not dealing with you. You understand? Amen is not dealing with you. You calling on Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh Shai, Amen Ra, all that's not of God. You understand? Yahshua, Yahuwah, whatever, Jehovah, we're not dealing with you. Amen sent this message to a new people, a people who are in a state of evolution. That's who we're dealing with in the state of mental, people who are in transmission with God. Amen. Not Amen Ra from Egypt. Amen. Period. AHMEN, the true and living God. That's who God is dealing with. That's who we're dealing with in the state of mental, the people who are wiping their slate clean, breaking the rituals, breaking the old, breaking out of the circle, and moving in a straight line, how God moves. That's what we're dealing with. The new, the next. Now, 205. 205, you're on the air.
Hey, what's good?
How you doing, brother?
All right. Well, I just want to chime in and make my comments. I think some of us take things a little bit to the extreme. When we say things like ritualistic, we get up every day and brush our teeth and take a shower and do everything else that we need to do. That's a ritual. When we eat, we have to release the food that we eat. That's a ritual. So I think that, there are certain things that we have to do over and over in a ritual, and there are certain things that we shouldn't have to do in a ritual. Whatever works is what we should do as a ritual, and whatever don't work is what we should not do. That's something that I'm looking at.
Well, let me stop you. Just let me, just for a second. When you're talking about natural rituals, things that's talking about grooming rituals. That's very you definitely need to groom yourself, or you don't need to. You can walk around nasty if you want to, but those are grooming rituals. That's very different from practicing things like Christianity, Islam, and all them other things that you've been practicing. That we don't need. All right, because that's not getting our people anywhere. You need grooming rituals more than you need those religious rituals that were given to you by mankind. God gave you and put the idea in your head to groom yourself, clean yourself in those ritualistic forms and whatnot, which are actually moving you to a linear way of thinking, because what they say, cleanliness is next to godliness. So those are rituals that are really in a linear path or in a linear state, because there was a time where men didn't do that. They didn't wash themselves. They didn't groom themselves. They didn't do that. So that was a speed up on evolution in your intelligence.
Well, also I wanted to say, I think that, I agree with, ᴘᴏᴡᴇR and everything that ᴘᴏᴡᴇR is about as far as evolving. And however, I look at all the different movements in the past, from the past, such as Pan-Africanism. I look at these movements as attempts to try to do something, to get us out of our condition as far as being oppressed. And I think that it's something that we can take from each of these different movements. We don't have to take everything. We can learn. We can look at the mistakes that these different groups made. I mean, there's logic in all of these different things, or obviously they wouldn't have been, they wouldn't have been significant at it to a certain extent. So I just think that we should have to take the logic out. We shouldn't disregard, things completely. We should just take, whatever logic we can find in it. There's logic in all these different things. Logically in Pan-Africanism, they said, okay, we got to figure out how to unite globally. So that's all of these things are things that we had to take into consideration when we started coming together.
Well, here's the thing about that. All of the things that you're talking about that are logically in these things and fragmented truths are all in mentellect. So all of those things were getting us toward mentellect. The people who are in tune, these were all things that were thrown out, because I said there are fragmented truths in all of these doctrines and things that came out of the past from man. They're fragmented bits of truth. Why not take up the whole truth in the knowledge of mentellect, which is coming directly from the true and living God, Amen? That's what we dealing with. We don't want no more bits and pieces of truth or taking anything from everything. He is in mentellect, so we don't need him no more. All the things that the Pan-Africanists came to teach, they don't have been taught already. Like Dr. Malachi Z. York said, all the things that the nation and Elijah and them came to taught, they taught that already. All the things the 5% everybody had to say, they taught it already. It's done. Now let's move on. Mentellect is where we're supposed to be moving into, the true intelligence of God, the true reception of God, the real God, not these false gods that we've been coming in the name of, because we had all these things and they got us to a certain level. Now we're in the new millennium and we're still trying to go back into these things. We're not supposed to be going backwards. We're supposed to be moving forward.
And you know something else I've been thinking about lately. I've been thinking about the fact that how we be so hard on the people and say that we fell under the beast because we mixed our seed. But it's got to be more to it. It's got to be something more that happened for us to just be suffering and going through what we're going through. I mean, we had all these different, like I said, movements of people trying to do things. The Black Wall Street movement. All of these things, I can't be honest with myself. Sit up here and say black people didn't try to get out of their situation.
But you know what the problem was?
They tried.
I'm gonna tell you.
The beast is not gonna let these people get out of their situation.
Ain't got nothing to do with him. It has nothing to do with him. You know why we failed at these things? Because we wanted to be included. When you say Wall Street, the Black Wall Street, what were they trying to do? Copy the white Wall Street. When y'all was Muslims, what was y'all doing? Copying the other Muslims. You understand? When you was Christians, y'all was being the black Christians. You was being the black version of these people. So you were making your connection through mankind. That's why these things kept happening to our people. You didn't make so when you make your connection through mankind and you become the black version or the inclusive version of what he's putting out, then you're going to fall under everything that happens to him. Until you make your connection with God like we did before in ancient Egypt and Nubia when we was calling on the name of Amen, that's when we were on top, when we stepped out of our place, as I was saying, when we stepped out of our place, when we stepped off or abandoned our post. Now you see what happened to our people now. That came from a bunch of people that wanted to be inclusive instead of exclusive.
Or could we say that it was just an attempt to make a distinction by saying Black Wall Street and making a distinction and saying, okay, we know we're not, quote unquote black, but we're making a distinction. This is for people who are supposed to, are so-called black. We're making a distinction. We're gonna, we see what the beast is doing. We're gonna do our own thing, and it just end up being Black Wall Street. I'm not sure if they necessarily were trying to fit in. I just think they was trying to use what they saw the beast doing as far as working to, financially be independent or self-sustaining, and saying, okay, let's make it Black Wall Street. So I think it's so many ways, so many different ways you can look at it. But I do see what you're saying, and I do receive, and I'm getting it. I just try to look at things from different angles.
It's the same thing that's going on right now. Like when I even started out when I said the topic of this broadcast was that a new people coming who are in tune with God. Now, like I said, I'm saying this and I'm providing intelligence for our people that is not coming from mankind, so obviously it has to be coming from God. Now, I said the real power of a new people in transmission with God. Now, you would think that our people who want to get out of this all inclusive mentality and out of this church state mentality or this church mindset or this out of the world and coming into this exclusive mindset would come this way. But what's holding our people back? Y'all still want to be inclusive. You still want to be in the world of the beast. You still want his world. You don't want the world of God. That's why this is happening to our people. You don't want to make God. You don't want to answer to God as the higher authority because you don't even know who God is. You want to answer to Allah and Jehovah and Jesus because under those dead gods, you could do whatever you want to do. You could be in the world. Like I seen this black guy was a Muslim. He a Muslim, got the long shaggy beard, smoking a cigarette and whatnot. Black Muslim, right? Now he talking about he got jumped and beat up by some white guys and and they threw him in a pickup truck and whatnot. Now, the white guy was able to come over to him, hey, Aki, what's going on, brother? Now, he accepted this guy as a Muslim brother because the white boy said Aki, so he trusted him. He got in the truck with the white boy. They took him someplace, and they didn't kill him, but he fought and got away. But that goes to show you that our people want to be included. That's why he did that. And that's why our people still suffer today. Tattoo when they self up smoking weed, laying with the beast. Our people still want to do these activities, but then you want to cry when they turn on it.
I think that is a certain amount of people that are doing that. But when I go out and interact with people, and I have just common sense conversations with people, these people got common sense, man. They just don't, like I said, they just don't have anything to connect, anything to bring them together. I mean, for example, in my city, the events that are created or started here, I mean, is not anything that's relevant to quote unquote black people.
It ain't supposed to be.
I mean, it leaves you to say, like, I know if you go to New York, they got all type of things going on. But it's not like that in other places. I mean,
well, that's why
it's kind of overwhelming when I think about it because me, I'm 26, so just going through college and you coming out and then you figure and then you say, okay, I went through that and now I'm still what? You got to be under the beast at a certain extent because I mean our people don't really have businesses are organized to supply to the young people that's coming up, and it's just a cycle that's repeating itself.
Well, then that's
another thing that's holding us back. If we ain't getting, we don't have these things in place.
Well, you gotta work to put these things in place. It ain't gonna just jump in place for you. That's the problem with the black man. The black man wants everything to happen without him having to put any effort behind anything. What am I doing by doing these radio shows, writing these books, teaching these classes? What is people? Why? If I'm teaching about the evolution of my people and who you really are, then it should be on you all to be like, yo, I'm gonna lift this thing up, because if I acknowledge it to be the truth, I'm in the state of mental too. I want to come here, be a part of it, and I want to go out and as an entered member, and I want to go out and teach my people under the state of mental. That's what the people who say they want to be part of this and want to change the dynamic amongst our people will do. Because you said that all this stuff. Hold on. You said everything that things are going on in New York City, black people, all this stuff going on. Let me tell you something about New York City and black people and these conscious events and stuff. They not doing anything. They not talking about nothing. So it might as well just be nothing going on. Just like ain't nothing going on where you at, ain't nothing really going on but what we doing here. Okay.
But it's more than. It's something. It's something. At least they coming together and talking about something.
They're talking about nothing. They're talking about nothing. All right. I'm telling you, I've been to these places. I've been around these, but they're not talking about nothing. You know what they talking about? They trading it. They getting together and charging people money so that these simple-minded niggas could get in an arena and trade insults with each other and curse each other out and whatnot, and scream black power on top of it. That's what they do. They creating Jerry Springer. So you might as well be with nothing. You might as well just go ahead and embrace the damn church or the mosque rather than that madness. You know, that's madness too, but you might as well embrace that instead of this madness, because that's what's going on. Like I said, nothing. So.
Oh, I just want. That's all I had. I just had those few comments. I continue to listen.
All right. Well, like I said, the state of mental is here for our people who really want this truth and who want to come together collectively. People, we ain't got no more excuses no more, because I'm here. So it ain't no more excuses. I'm here. I'm going to take one more call. 408.
Hey, peace. Hey, man, I don't want to say, I'm not trying to say nothing bad about nobody, brother. But the raw reality is that the brother that just called, and bro, I'm not saying nothing bad about you, bro, but that's the prime example of someone that ain't really ready. Because the brother keep going back to past movements and trying to say that they had some validity because of this or that, or just trying to give them some kind of substance, and you have to let all of that go. You got to let all of that go. It's time to move forward. When you refer back to those things, you continue to go in a circle. The brothers have to know this. You got to let all of that stuff go. This is new. This is going forward. This is the state of intellect. You know what I'm saying? Let everything else go. There should be no rebuttal at all. Well, if you are one that's in this movement, then you're going to move forward with it.
Well, like I said, I want to see the people. The only people that's going to be really in the state of mental are the people that are going to be coming to New York and get entered into the state of mental. Ain't nobody a part of the state of mental until you entered in New York. That's how that works. Then you go back to where you come from, and based on how you are, like I said, we don't want nobody that's using drugs with us, smoking cigarettes, eating bad foods. We want clean, upstanding, upright people. So when you go back to these people, you go into this example, because it's to set up a mentorium in different states and whatnot, and set up a community in different states and a collective. Like I said, we are the nation of Islam of our time, the old nation of Islam, like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had. We are that. We are supposed to be like that version of those people in a new mindset, because the nation of Islam in that time was the state of mental in the past. That was the state of mental, because they was dealing with the knowledge of God. They wasn't dealing with Islam. So if you want to refer back to something, why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was so successful at what they was doing is because, unlike all those other groups that was around, like the Moors and all these other people, they were still focused on old things. One thing the white man said, he said that And I was watching the Ancient Aliens one time. He said that the people, I don't know if it was Ancient Aliens, or sister told me, she said that the Nation of Islam was the first group, religious group, he said, to introduce the existence of extraterrestrials being involved in the evolution of man. So that was something new, or new intelligence that was brought through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. So that's what kept our people coming together and made things work. When we started moving forward and let our minds move forward and, opening ourselves up to receive intelligence, that's when it started to come together and work for us. As long as we kept going back in the past and talking about Islam and Muhammad, the past, and Christianity and Pan-Africanism, it's not going to work for us.
Yeah, and Black Wall Street, all of that, it's
all
over.
That's finished, man.
It's over.
All that's finished. God let that be destroyed. God let all that be destroyed because, like I said, there are people still didn't get it. They were still following the ways of the white man and everybody else in submission. Whenever our people go into submission under the beast, everything we build always falls.
Yeah.
Everything we build falls.
It's nothing but it's niggas that want to be included with them, with the beast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't want.
We just saying blackface.
Yeah.
You feel me?
They don't want Amen. They don't want God. They want the white man because, like I said, in their mind, he is God. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's the conscious community, the Pan-African. In their mind, the white man is God. I don't care what they say. They can say, "Oh, brother, that ain't true." Yeah, it is true. Because every time, you know how you know it? You know how you know it's the truth? Because every time you start talking about, yeah, brother, we're going to get together, we're going to do something. Oh, well, the white man ain't going to like that. You know what they're going to do. That's the first thing out their mouth. They bring the white man into it. Well, know the white man ain't going to like that, brother. What we going to do? We got to get some guns because we got to go against the white man. And like I said, when I say the word against means together. Against means together, because if I say when the cops say nigga get up against the wall, what happens? You become one with the wall, right?
One with the wall.
So that means you against is together. So whenever you hear these niggas in the conscious community or the Black Panthers, all these niggas talking about, oh yeah, we got to get some guns and get up against the white man, go against the white man, that means they want to be with him.
Yeah, all these niggas want to do is just be
He's
included in the system. He want to be included in the system.
Yeah, they want to be. That's where all that. I told you that's where all that black aggression come from. All that the white man is the devil nonsense. All that come from black aggression because they mad because they didn't get included. That's all.
Yeah.
And the black man still want to be included. He ain't fooling nobody. If the black man ain't fooling nobody, like I said, all them Negroes talking that nonsense, they ain't fooling nobody. So. They just get money. They just get money for foolishness. It's just like church, man. It's just like church. It is church. I told you, it is church. I told you, it is church. It's the world. It's the world and everything that come along with it. The foolishness, just like what people go to church for. All these niggas do when they go to church, all they do is go there to talk crap about each other, sing, and go through a social event and a gathering. You could do the same thing in the street or at a club somewhere. They go up there to talk crap and sing and talk nonsense about each other. So it's the same thing. The same thing at these conscious gatherings and whatnot, to sing, to talk crap about each other, go back and forth, listen to a bunch of stuff that ain't doing nothing for the people. Everybody go back home and they got entertained. That's all it's about.
You took the words right out of my mouth when you said when the brother said that ain't nothing going on in his state, but it's a lot going on in New York. It ain't shit going on in New York. Nothing.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly. Except the state of Mentel.
That's it.
Except the state of Mentel. You understand? That's it.
That's elementary, man. That's a no-brainer.
There you go.
Hey, brother, everybody, y'all, people really, you gotta let all that bull go. You gotta let it go, or you want to continue to go in circles and, be my guest. But now you gotta let all that go, man.
Well, we'll see. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll see who let it go. That goes for everybody to say that. We'll see who's gonna let it go when January when these reception services start in the mentoriums in the building of Almond Mentorium #1 in New York starts. We'll see who let it go. All the people who say they with me and they with me, you'll be in New York. Like I said, if you really want to be here, you'll be here. You'll come to a class and whatnot. You'll become a member. You'll get entered in. You'll go back to your state. You'll set up a mentorium under the state of Mentel, and you'll start teaching your people. Like I said, teaching our people out there so we can have an arm out there. We can have a leg over here, another arm over here, another leg over here, a whole body all over the place. That's how it's supposed to happen. Y'all supposed to come here to get entered in. Ain't nobody a part of this thing till you entered in New York.
Real talk.
This ain't no Facebook group.
Real
All right.
talk. All right,
Real
Ray. Thanks
talk.
a lot, brother. Hey,
All
thanks
right,
a lot.
brother.
All right. All right.
All
peace.
right. Peace. All right. I'm going to play me a little bit of music. Because, like I said, we holding up Armin's power. We the one that's holding up Armin's power. You understand? It's us that are the reason why we keep going through the things we keep going through, why we keep hitting our heads, you know what I'm saying, and keep bumping into walls and whatnot, because we don't want to let the things of the world go. We don't want to let it go. We care. We still care about what's going on out here. We still care what these simple-minded Negroes is thinking about us out here. We still care about that. We still want to be in the world. We want to do the same thing over and over and over again. Then get mad when no change happens in your life. You don't want to change in your life. You don't want to connect with God. You don't want to open yourself up for change. You want to keep doing the same thing over and over again. Then you want to get mad. You want to get angry. You want to get upset. You understand? You still want to smoke weed. You still want to walk around your pants hanging off your ass. You still want to listen to wear the Yankee caps. You still want to listen to the same hip hop. Or you just want to be in the world walking around doing nothing, just trying to get money and living your life. You still want to be engaged in reading these books about the Illuminati, the secret societies, all that nonsense. You still want to go back and forth with these conscious people. That's what our people are about. You become about nothing. I got more respect for the conscious Negroes because at least they know they're not about nothing. At least they know it's just a speaking engagement, a speaking opportunity. But those of you people who sit up here and you listen to me and you bear witness that this is truth and you bear witness that this is coming from the true and living God, Amen, through me, and y'all not helping me, go to hell, man. Go to hell. You not coming to New York to get entered into the state of mental and you saying, oh, our people got a problem. You part of the problem. They're not part of the problem because in the minute, the ones are people who are not connecting with God, they're not going to be here anyway. That's why I call them niggas shrugged. They shrug. Shrug your shoulders to them. Goodbye. Because you serve no purpose. But those of you who are fortunate enough to hear this message, right, who it was able to resonate in your mind, this message was coming from the true and living God. And though my words might be rough sometimes, and though people might be like, oh, well, that brother's language is too rough, and I don't know. Like I said, you go back to your Christian Jesus and your Muslim Allah or your African Shango gods. Go back over there where you could be spiritual in your words because you're just looking for an excuse not to listen to me. You understand? The fire that comes through me is coming from God. You understand? Problem is, you got this idea of God. You got this idea of God all twisted. You understand? You got this idea still from the beast of some feeble old white man with some white beard who all nice and to everybody. And grandfatherly. No, that's not Amen. That's George Burns. That's George Burns. You go and worship George Burns. I'm going to stay in tune with Amen. I'm going to keep putting this fire through me. Same way that fire went through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. If you look at a lot of his early speeches, way before Malcolm X came on the scene. You understand? Before Malcolm X came on the scene, or when he was new in the game and he came onto the nation, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad spit fire way about on my level, even worse, on TV. You don't tell me that's not God working through man. Are you scared, Negroes? Y'all couldn't have did it. You couldn't have did it. But we're going to do it. Right? I'm going to play a little Mos Def. ᴘᴏᴡᴇR. In honor of the mothers all over the world, in honor of my mother, right, Miss Bonnie Council, in honor of my grandmother, Annie Marie Hunter, who's no longer here in physical form, but she's still with me. ᴘᴏᴡᴇR, Mos Def. We'll be right back. Oh, I'm going to tell you something. You know, a lot of times these guys, they talking about they want to be free. A lot of times, like, you know, Mos Def and them, you know, these guys talking about they want to be free. A lot of times they mean they want to be free to mix their seed with the beast and all these other people, and they want to be free to be inclusive in the world. They don't want to say, they ain't saying they want to be free to be exclusive. They want to be all inclusive to everybody, you know, and their dealings. That's what they really mean. That's what black people say when they say they want to get free, right? They really want to get free from the mark that is on them. A lot of our people still have the faded mark of God on them, which is why the beast treats them the way they do. When I say the faded mark of God, what I mean is that the people still have remnant of God's mark on them in their hair and their skin, and it's always seen by these people. You know, our people are supposed to be turning on this power, this energy. You want to talk about telepathy, clairvoyance, and all these things heightened. How heightened do you think it would be if we were together collectively on that same level mentally? How heightened and how strong would you think our clairvoyance, our telepathy, and all these things, all these mental capabilities would be, and eventually physical ones would be, as if we came together collectively and focused, if we came from up under that mentality, under that sub-mental state? How strong do you think we would be as a people? We gave up the BS and stopped trying to be inclusive and started being exclusive, right? See, because they want our people to be inclusive. They baited us with that trap of civil rights and all this stuff so that we would want to be inclusive, so that we would want in. You understand? So that we would want in. We should have came with a lot of ideas, right? We should have came with a lot of ideas on how to free ourselves and be exclusive people. But the problem is, like I was telling the brother, your freedom and what you want in this world is based on inclusiveness, not exclusiveness. You want to be down. Y'all got Down syndrome, like I always say. The black race has Down syndrome. You still want to be down with these people. That's what you want to be free to do. That's what you want to work, and it will never work. It won't work. It's like trying to get a person to live amongst angry wild lions and wild animals. You're not supposed to live there. You're not supposed to be included with these people. That's why they have their place and you have your place. That's why you were made different from everybody else. Y'all still don't get it. Our people still don't get it. It goes right over their head. But these are the people who are blind, deaf, and dumb, mentally dead. You're supposed to be separate. You're supposed to be in your own communities. Now you don't even have your own communities with the gentrification and everything. Now everybody is still becoming inclusive to you. I mean, you're still being included in everything, whether you like it or not. You understand? You're still being included because you think that you're supposed to have a black community. Like I said, black people only want to get proud and talk about the black community when they think they're losing something. That's when they want to get proud. Or like I said, the black woman want to get on her pride kick when she thinks she's losing a black man who got money to a white woman or somebody else. Then she want to get exclusive. Oh, why he taking our black men? But the minute you talk to her, you be like, yeah, well, sister, I ain't your sister. I got a degree. I'm intelligent. I'm educated. I'm dangerous. I'm an educated black woman. You're a smart dummy. You're a fool. Right? You're a joke in the world. Right? That's the truth. And our people can't stand the truth. You want to be included, and it will never work for you. The minute you start excluding yourself from these people and start tuning yourself in to God, the true and living God, Amen, not no more Allahs and Jesus Christ and all these other gods of the inclusive people. Because even when y'all accepted those gods now like you do today, you accept these gods and these beliefs and these religions because you're trying to be inclusive. You're trying to be included. You want to be down. Right? That's why you black men will walk around with beards all over your damn face with red dye in it because you want to be down with Arab culture. Right? You walk around with you black people in the Catholic Church walk around with crosses on your head and ash because you want to be down. Everything that you do is based on your want to be accepted, and God despises that. You know how you know God despises that? Because He pays no attention to you. You're still suffering in the world. And just because some of you Negroes got a little bit of money, and you got a little, you can live in a house next to your former slave masters. I mean, or the people who once owned you, because you can live next to them, and you can feel included. Don't think you're not under it neither, because you always get your nigga wake up call, always, because you're still trying to be included. You understand that? Now, like I said, the Jews, they made it their business to exclude themselves from everybody, and that's not a bad thing. I applaud them for that. I applaud them for that. That's how they were able to become powerful people, because they excluded themselves. They said, we are God's chosen people. They said, we are God's chosen people. That's exclusion. You understand? But nobody blinks an eye, says anything wrong when they say it. The minute we say it or somebody else say it, like I said, they can believe what they want to believe. That's fine. They're free to believe that. I applaud them for that. I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at the Koreans. I'm not mad at anybody that excludes other people from their group. That's their right to. You don't have to force yourself on people. Black people seem to have this whole thing and idea where they want to force themselves on people. That's why they want to pose with guns. They want to get mad, talking about they got to, they got the right to bear arms. They got this, that, and the third. Like I said, that's them. That's your want and desire to be inclusive. You understand? We got it right. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad got it right when he said that our people should have been exclusively unto God, as God's people, as a state of people. We're supposed to be exclusively unto God, not unto man, thus becoming those God-like beings on earth. See, but we don't want that. We don't want that. Well, no, some of our people, the smart ones, want it. The ignorant ones, they don't want it. The smart dummies, they don't want it. You understand? They want to keep taking us through this hell. They want to keep telling us that, if we get some more land, we just need some better politicians. We just need more of a better seat of representatives in the House, and here we need more councilmen. It's the system. It's the system that's, right. Nothing wrong with the system. There's nothing wrong with the system. There's nothing wrong with the political system. It's right. It's just not right for us. It's right. It's not right for us. Right? That's what happens when you have people who are meant to be excluded. You were meant to be excluded in the society. Yeah? You were meant to be excluded. But you niggas are hard-headed. Can't you see when you're not wanted? You're not wanted unless you are on your knees scrubbing and taking care of their children and being lackeys and things like that. Now you don't even want to do that no more. So what purpose do you serve? That's what they're thinking about in their minds to them. What purpose do you serve? You're not wanted. You understand? You're not wanted. Your kind is not wanted. You understand? Yet you keep trying to force yourself. You understand? You keep trying to force yourself on people. Don't force yourself on people. Stop being inclusive. God didn't make you to be inclusive. If God made you, or if you were made in the image, or you came as the manifestation of God, not as the creation, if you were made to be inclusive, or if you were manifested into this world to be inclusive, then you would look like everybody else. You would have straight hair like the white man. You would look like the East Indian and all these other people. You would look like those people. You don't look like these people for a reason. And not because of no curse like some of you simple-minded Negroes still believe. You were given a royal crown, a royal woolly crown. You were given rich carbonated skin. You came in the image of God. You are the natural manifestations of God. God does not look like the human race. God does not look like the human race. You know how you know that? Because God looks like you. You don't look like the human race. You don't have the same kind of hair. You don't have the same type of skin texture. You do not look like the human race. God does not look like the human race. You are the natural manifestations of God walking the earth, so you're supposed to be in tune with God, not in tune with man. Y'all still missing the point. You're still missing the point. Our people still want to whine because they don't get it. You know? They still don't get it. Our people still don't get it. Please understand that forcing yourself on people, trying to be inclusive, trying to be inclusive will get us nothing but problems, will get us nothing but false reception, when we're supposed to be receiving the reception of God as exclusive people, as those elect people. You understand? So that we can understand. Anybody in the chat room, I'm looking in the chat room right now. If anyone has any questions, call in, weigh in, because I usually don't monitor the chat room. I hear what the same hear. I'm gonna look in the chat room. Hear what the same drama Dr. York said to me. The fruit. Okay. See, this. I don't know. I didn't read your whole diatribe. The fruit. I didn't read your whole diatribe. But this is the problem with our people. Right. Stop making it about men. It's not about men. It's about God. You know. It's not about men. It's about God. God powers men. And at a certain time, God stops powering men. That means God is going to start powering new men to come. It's a generational thing. Understand? God powers men. God powers people to come together collectively. That doesn't stop. Problem is, our people get caught up on men. They get caught up on individuals. They get caught up on individuality, which is why our people are not moving forward, which is why they're not being moved forward by the power of God. God is the future one, the future being, who is constantly moving in future state. And we are supposed to be after the order of God, moving in future state, as receivers of God's intelligence. You know? This is what we're supposed to be doing. You understand? This is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be moving in an evolutionary lift. I'm going to take one from 804. 804, you're on the air.
Hi, good evening. My name is Hugh. I'm calling from Virginia. I've been listening to you. Very interesting. And I'm a 68-year-old white male, and I've seen and been through a lot in my life, and I have a spiritual belief system in God with a Christ consciousness, probably because I was raised in a Catholic church, but I resonate directly with God, the heart-to-God connection, and stand in my truth. And I believe that God is all about love. I wanted to find out how you feel. I think you were starting to allude with connecting with other races. I think every individual race, every individual ethnicity should have their own traditions, their own belief systems, and that we can all embrace those differences and learn from each other the best that we have to offer. I don't know how that resonates with you, but I'm just curious what you might have to say about that.
I actually agree with you. You know why I say that? Because how God connects to people is how they feel God connects with people. And how God connects with me is how I'm, sharing it with my people. I said the problem is that people need to stop trying to feel as though they need to be included in other people's spiritual or soulful practice or whatever. They need to make their own and form their own connection with God, and that connection should not be questioned by other people. People should not force their beliefs on other people. So I agree with you, and I definitely feel that you have a connection with God, your connection that you form with God, and like I said, I support that in anybody.
Well, I support what you just said, and I would like to interact with you, if I may. And I've shared my name on other shows. If I can, I'll share it here so you can see some things online and some of the experiences that I've had. I've had some pretty bizarre stuff, which includes UFO, paranormal, and near-death. There's a letter from President Obama to me related to the economy, as well as a very powerful poem that's titled Caring, Sharing in the President Ronald Reagan Library, and have some very powerful strategies that I'm bringing in that will definitely empower all the people you're interacting with too, and that's some of what I would like to discuss with you off air. I don't use email, but if you can keep my phone number and call me sometime, I'll fill you in a little bit more. But for now, if you don't mind, I'll just share my name so people can just see who I am as I stand in my truth.
Okay, all right. That's fine. What is your name?
My name is Hugh, H-U-G-H, and the last name is Traulsen. That's T as in Tom, R-A-U-L-S-E-N like Nancy. You'll see various things. There's a blog, Creativity777, that was put on the internet for me. Creativity777.com has the copy of the letter from President Obama. And I was written up years ago on a front-page Wall Street Journal article where I exposed the former federal government bureaucrat for fraud indirectly. It eventually resulted in the resignation of Jim Wright from Speaker of the House in shame, the third highest office in the country. I was falsely accused back in the early 80s, too, in a supposed assassination plot against President Reagan. It was total BS. And whatever I can't handle, I always put in the hands of God, and it always works out beautifully. I've had people that have messed with me that have died. I didn't ask for that. And I put the elites on notice, too, and I say to them that God has harmonics. Harmonics, of course, are sound waves, and when they come, if you're in the right kind of heart-to-God alignment, you'll be perfectly fine. But if you're an elite, you can be sitting on your yacht over in the Mediterranean sipping a pina colada, and you may spontaneously combust or explode. The same thing if you're in an underground bunker somewhere, but you can change your ways and live a little longer if you start doing the right thing by people and caring and sharing. And somebody said to me, aren't you afraid of retribution? I said, retribution, what?
Hugh, I don't mean to cut you. I'm sorry. I'm going to Google you because I'm at the end of the broadcast. I have to close out in a minute. So just keep following with me, and like I said, you can. I got your number. I'll Google you and look you up. Okay.
Thank you very much. God bless everyone.
You too. Take care. Okay. Let me answer these questions because we got about 5 minutes left. All right. What is the transmission? What is transmission of God? What is the transmission? The transmission of God is the intelligence of God coming to an elect few who have opened themselves up to receive the intelligence of God. All right. Why can a new people only be in tune with God? Because God is an evolutionary man who moves in a physical form and sends intelligence to a collective group of people who are in tune with him and moving in future thought. Okay? Where does God transmit from? God transmits from a world just like this world, but that is boundless. God lives in the world and lives in this world with people, all right? People who are referred to as Amen beings. God's true name is Amen. Okay? All right? And he begat human beings or created human beings. All right? Can individuals connect with God? For the time being, but the connection with God is stronger as a collective, always. That's why congregations and groups are formed to strengthen their connection with God. All right? What will the connection bring to the people in the future? Clarity. One word, clarity. And intelligence. All right? Clarity and intelligence. So, strong connection, mental capabilities that we have access to that we should be moving forward and advancing as a new group of people, as a people who are in tune with the evolution of God. Because as I said, God moves on. God changes. A lot of our people don't want to accept that. A lot of our people want to accept God and go back in time and make God stagnant and stuck in time like they are. But God moves forward. So that is it. That is it for tonight. Join us Friday night on the next State of Mentel broadcast. I don't know what the broadcast will be, but it'll be something thought-provoking. Always giving something thought-provoking to our people, the people who come in the name of God, the people who trust in God. As I say, we don't believe in God, we trust in God. And God we trust, right? Because we acknowledge God as the true and living God. So you have to trust him. Those people who believe in God, you have accepted the philosophies of the theologians. You believe in their lies. That's why the word lie is in the word belief. All right? So, how do I want to close out with? All right, let me see. I want to close out with something nice. Let me see. Okay. Join us on the 27th in Brooklyn, New York for the State of Mentel's new reception of God. We're not doing any more Supermen, Superwomen projects. We've moved on from the Supermen, Superwomen projects. Though the Supermen and Superwomen are still in the mix as the people who are of God, you are becoming supreme people. Those of you who are the elect, we are moving on from that, and we are reaching out to our people in a higher form. All right? I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares. This has been State of Mentel Radio. Good night.
It's the Republic of Mental, rising out the black race to the white race, out the black race to the white race. It's the Republic of Mental, black race to the white race. If it's hell, and then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities that we can